what's going on, all my gamers, all my Genshin gamers? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the 5-star selector and which character you should probably be picking. Now I'm just going to be rambling this whole time. This is going to be a yap fest. I have been having a fun time trying to freestyle these videos going out the top of the dome. If I put this much practice in actually freestyling, maybe I could have gone somewhere, but chat room, that is neither here nor there. Now, my big ass head is covering Dehya. I'm going to be here in the middle just because I don't want to cover the characters as I talk about them. Now, we are going to go from the worst that you should not even consider picking up unless I will give specific reasons why you should and why you shouldn't. And man, so we're going to go from worst to best. And unfortunately, and this pains my heart to say, we are going to start with the worst, which you should never in your life consider picking up, which is Dehya. Dehya in the meta is probably the worst character in the game and is definitely one of the worst 5-stars in the game. Now, do I have her? Hell yeah, I have her. I have Constellation, I think 2 or 1. I have her because I think she's absolutely hot. I love me a muscle mommy, and I love me a tough girl who can beat me up. I just love a woman who can kill me. So I myself have Dehya. Would I recommend her if you have another DPS that could out damage her? Hell no. I think she's awful. But, you know, for all my fellow tough girl muscle mommy enjoyers, I think she is definitely something you should pick. And someone above her who is not any better, but I think he just does reactions a little bit better than she does, because the way she uses her abilities, it comes up so awfully in her ult. Her Tyrant Rave is just such a worse version of Wriothesley's Tyrant Rave. So I think that in itself is why, I mean, honestly, you should probably just pick up Wriothesley if you want someone to punch. His Tyrant Rave is so much better than hers. But next, for the second worst, is probably D-Luke. D-Luke has been power crept to hell. I think at one point in the game, he was actually the best DPS in the game, and he is nowhere near that now. But I will say that he could probably work around Dendro a lot better than Dehya can. So if you want to use him for that, you can, and as well as Melt and other kinds of reactions and stuff like that. I think that could be fine. I thought, what is it? The one with Hydro and Pyro? Is it Scorch or something like that? I don't remember. But, you know, you can get him and use his burst to kind of get a big hit off, which is something that Dehya can't do because she does a bunch of mini punches. He shoots out his eagle, and honestly, I think he's really cool, especially him using his abilities, the way he flips. He kind of reminds me of Artorias. For all my Dark Souls enjoyers, I think his fighting style is cool. Plus, in Japanese, he is voiced by Giorno Giovanna's voice actor, and that's really cool to me. Now, the next one is a healer that, if you are an experienced player, if you're pretty far in the game, you will not need her. But if you're a new player and you're still early on in the game, I could recommend Chi-Chi. Now, the thing about Chi-Chi is once you get her Ascension number 4, which probably at that point, if you can get to Ascension level 4, you probably have decent characters, and you can probably get Barbara to work, because Barbara in a way works the same. She is a 4-star, and her healing doesn't come up as consistently. She is what I like to call an oh shit healer, where if Barbara needs to heal, hit her ult and her ult will go off like that. I think Chi-Chi kind of works in the same way, where if you are in a bind and you need a ult with her and immediately start attacking, and your health, she heals for a lot. Don't get me wrong, she absolutely does. And she is very, very easy to build. All you have to do is throw attack on her. And I think I get like 6,000 a heal, but it's just like she does nothing else but do that oh shit healing, which at this point in the game, especially if you're towards the late game and towards the end, you need more than just an oh shit get me out of this healing. If you get her Ascension 4, that healing will come up a lot quicker and a lot more consistently. So that's where I think she's pretty good. You know, if you're against the wolf dogs and the maiden, the shell thing, you know, when you attack the wolf dogs that give bleed, I think she's a pretty good counter to that, because she will heal through that, and her healing is insane. So the only problem is healing insane, does nothing else. She's like a heal stick. You know what a beat stick is? She's pretty much a heal stick. Now, After that, the character, and this is going to depend on two different things. It's going to depend on how many constellations you have and what you use her for. Next will be Jean, and she is higher up on the list because of a way that I have found to use her. And the only way you can get this use out of her is if you have Constellation 2, which is, I think she is a pretty good attack speed healer. So the way that I use her is I have her on a team with Nahida, the Shogun, and Ayato. So I have her as, if you don't know what her Constellation 2 does, is it'll give your characters movement speed and attack speed. So I have her, I'll put her on the field. You have to generate a particle with her, which is easy. You just use her E. And once you do that, you'll get the particles. And as soon as you do that, you switch to Ayato and he'll start going off like he'll attack like you've never seen before. And it's pretty sick. And I use that a lot so I can get the procs off of applying Hydro plus Dendro and then having the Shogun's E go off, which does the lightning. So in that aspect, for me, I think she's really good. I also think if you're on Constellation 3 and you need to get to Constellation 4, I can see that working because then she could be a healer and attack speed plus for the Wanderer because she has a 40% arrow. She has a 40% animo damage threat. I couldn't think of the word animo. I almost said arrow, but that's Wuthering Waves. I was like, that sounds wrong, and I wondered why. And so that's why. It's because it's Wuthering Waves. She has a 40% animo damage shred, which I think it's pretty good. But this will only happen with someone like the Wanderer. It's kind of like Farazan, where Farazan is only a Wanderer buff. So it would make her kind of you only use that with the Wanderer. But if you do have the Wanderer, I think it would be good because not only would give him the shred, it'll give him the damage, the attack speed, which Wanderer likes, and pretty good stuff. Now the next one would probably be Mona, because I think Mona is actually a pretty good support character. Now, she has been power crept herself as well, but I think in the grand scheme of things, being power crept as a support is not as bad as being power crept as a damage dealer, because as a damage dealer, there is no, once you get power crept, that's it. You can't come back. You can't be on off teams and stuff like that. Now, if you're power crept as a support, then you have someone like, I don't know, Yunjin on your first team. You can have Mona on your second team, and it'll all be good. But she is kind of power crept. You can kind of use her to, like, I guess, bring people together with Sucrose or Kazuha, and then use her ult or use her taunt thing, and then probably try to get Dendro off of that or something, and then try to get her ult to do damage and get reactions and stuff like that. So I think as a support, she's probably ranked higher just because of all the things that supports can do, and I think they just last a little bit longer in the game, especially comparative to damage dealers who probably get, replaced every patch and stuff like that. Now, my girl, my absolute first waifu is next. I myself love Keqing. I am actually going to pick Keqing for the Natlan character picker because she will be my first 5-star character that I C6. Is she good? Not really. She's been power crept to hell, but the thing about her, luckily for her, is that she can consistently get Electro off, which is good in the landscape where Dendro is king. Now, you won't do as much. I don't know. I say Cookie could probably do just as better just because you can kind of fill her with elemental damage or elemental reactions. I think that's fine. But she can still hit multiple people with Electro and get the Dendro cores off of them, and it'll attack everybody. And, she just does well in what this game needs currently. So if Dendro wasn't released, she would probably be a lot lower than maybe Diluc. But because of Dendro, she made a major comeback. Hey, a major setback for a major comeback, baby. I'm going to C6 her. I'm going to be happy. I love Keqing. Now, for the best character, and especially early on in the game for someone like a new player or something, you definitely want to pick up Tighnari, because Tighnari is Dendro Ganyu. Now, Ganyu, unfortunately, although her playstyle is a little bit boring, she did a lot of damage. But, again, Dendro is king. So when Dendro is king, what do you want to do? You want to pick Dendro. So Tighnari being the Dendro character on this 5-star selector, you're going to want to pick him. He's going to do what you want. He's going to get off Dendro. He's also very easy to build. His best in slot weapon is a 3-star weapon. And everyone's got like multiple copies of that, so you could just 5-star it and then, or not 5-star it, but you know, enhance it to the 5, whatever the fuck. Get it on him, do the damage, and he is going to pop off. In my opinion, I think he is probably going to be the best bet if you are an early game player. Late game players, probably not as much because you probably have other Dendro characters that will do just as fine. He is a step above Calais, but if you want to have a support character that probably does just as she will not do just as well. He does a shit ton of damage, so that's why I recommend him as one. But you know, if you want to support Dendro character, you know, you're probably just going to get Calais because you will get her for free later on in the game if you are early on in the game or if you're brand new to the game. But Tighnari reigns supreme because of Dendro. You know, chat room, what do you guys think? So we got Dehya at last, 7 Dehya, 6 Diluc, 5 Chi-Chi. I can count there for a second. 4 Jean, 3 Mona, 2 Kuching, and number 1 Big Daddy Tighnari. Now, chat, comment, like, and subscribe. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm dumb? Do you guys think I'm handsome? Do you think I'm pretty? You obviously do. Anyways, chat, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will catch you gamers in the next one or in the comment section where you're probably going to yell at me. Anyways, chat, bye.